Let's see here. I forget that this thing is here.
It's very comfy for your feet.
So.
Huh? Yeah, I can. He can't.
Damn. I want to recline too. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Authentic Goat Podcast. My guest today is Gerri. We're here at his awesome barbershop. I mean, I don't know how much he can show you. Trying to rotate a little bit.
It's not that awesome.
I thought it's pretty cool, but I was actually in here earlier with the homie Juan, cutting his hair. Did you have a pretty busy day?
Yeah, pretty busy. I heard he was hating on my soda, though.
Yeah, dude. That Mountain Dew apple. Yeah, he didn't like it.
I'm sure he didn't complain about all the candy he ate.
Yeah. That's funny.
No, yeah, Saturdays are usually pretty busy. Everyone's got stuff to do. Everyone's got events to attend, and then it's Easter, so everyone's getting ready for Easter. So
yeah, I've completely spaced that Easter was even a thing, dude. Yeah. I had told Yandel, I was like, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" And he was like, "Oh, it's prom, but I'm not gonna go." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, you trying to go to Oregon?" I had told him. And then, I forgot it was Easter. And
he was like, yeah, no, I'm busy hunting the Easter bunny.
Yeah.
I got plans already.
But I was like, nah, we'll probably go in the summertime. Or at least when it gets warmer.
What part of Oregon?
I want to go to the coast. I'm not sure where yet, but...
Dude, I went to Lincoln City 2 years ago. That was on the coast. Uh-huh. It was an experience. It was fun. We went for like 2 weeks. And 2 weeks is too much for me, but
really,
it's fun to experience. There's a lot of like nearby small towns that make it fun. So
nice. You want to bring that a little bit closer to your face? Yeah, you stretch that too. It's a little interesting.
Technology.
Yeah, I know. But let's see. Where should we start? So you're a barber. Was that something you always wanted to do, or like what was your like dream job as a kid?
Dude, no. So growing up, I don't know if I had a dream job. My dad was a farmer. So growing up like Hispanic and where we're from, I was kind of like, yeah, I'm going to be a farmer too.
That's like the option, right?
Yeah.
You're like, well, I could be like my dad.
Yeah. He drives a nice truck, drives around, feeds animals. Like, it seems easy. But no, if you want me being honest, I never really had like a picture in mind of what I wanted to do.
Other than like NBA, NFL.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to play for Kentucky.
Yeah.
That was my thing. But no, pretty early you realize coming out of Murtaugh being 5'6", brown, you probably ain't making the league.
Hey, you can hoop. Yeah. Like Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. Like CSI, like rec, you might do okay.
Yeah, you might run a couple games.
Yeah, you're not getting to the league. So.
What? Bring it down? Is it in my face? Oh, sorry. Thanks, cameraman. But, so the barber thing, I remember in high school. That's like when I first found out that you liked to cut hair.
Yeah, dude, and I think it just started off with my little brother.
Yeah.
So one time I messed up his hair, right? And he wanted a hard part, like down the side, and that was the thing, like hard part comb over or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. I watched a bunch of YouTube. I can do that. I was like, it looks easy. So I started cutting him or whatever. And I started doing the line, and every barber knows that like there's two sides to a line. So you go down, and then you push it down.
Oh, okay. See, I never knew that.
Yeah. So I started pushing down, and the line came out like this thick in the middle of his head, bro. And I was like, oh shit! Like this is kind of tough. Yeah. So he had to comb his hair like the complete other way for like weeks for that to grow by. But that's how I initially started, was cutting his hair, and then, but I had my serious doubts like senior year if I wanted to do it or not. I just Googled like average income of a barber, and I was like 23,000 or something like that. And I was like, hell no, like like that's not doable. But It's
Plus, with all the pressure from like your teachers and like our counselors that are like, "What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, make up your mind." Like, it's kind of pushing you, and you're like, "Do I really want to do this?"
exactly. And I feel like teachers, for the most part, are like, oh, like you got to go to college, you got to
Yeah.
do this or whatever. So I wanted to do agribusiness like straight out of high school. Honestly, that's what I thought I was gonna end up doing was agricultural business. So went it to the local college here at CSI, and I got with my advisor, and she's like, "Oh, okay, like these are the math classes you got to take. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do." And I was like, "Hell no."
Yeah, I'm not.
So I was like,
doing
"Yeah,
that.
this ain't my life." And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm good."
Like I thought I was out of school.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, "Yeah, no, I can't do that." So then after doing that, I think the very next day, like I started Googling barber colleges in Twin or whatever, and there was nothing. So I was like, damn, I'm out of luck. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I got to go to Boise or I got to get something figured out. But
Because there is a school in Boise.
yeah. And now there's one here in Twin, but when I
wow.
wanted to go to school, there wasn't. So I was like,
Hey man, you walked so people could run.
yeah. You guys are welcome. Yeah. So, yeah, I went to cosmetology school. So technically, I'm not a barber, but I only, technicality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So went there, checked it out, and what was super cool, it was a small local owned school. So, the lady that I was working with, I was like, yeah, like, I want to be a barber. I don't want to be a Cosmo. So she's like, okay, come to school here and you'll only cut dude's hair.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, you don't have to worry about manicures, pedicures, or nothing. Like, we'll get you taught in those so that you can pass boards at state. She's like, but that's it.
No, so low key, you can do that stuff?
Yeah, dude. Like,
That's news
you want
to
your
me.
feet soaked? I got you. Like,
Hey man, you could reach a whole new like demographic.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure young women, older women, whatever, they'd be glad to have you.
Older women, if you guys are listening, I can get those old wrinkly toes all nice and glittered up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's go hit them up. No, but that's cool. So you learn how to do all those things, but the whole time, are you kind of just like, I'm here to cut hair?
Dude, yeah. So we would go to school 8 to 5, so it was like a job. And we go to school 8 to 5. I sat and did nothing probably 7.5 hours, and I did 30 minutes of one haircut.
Wow. So is it like people can walk in? And
Yeah.
It's like a test run kind of?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you're just practicing on people. And like, if you don't have book work to do at the school that I was at, it was not very busy.
Mm-hmm.
We were downtown, but everyone wanted like their toes done, their hair done, like dyed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, guys' haircuts weren't something that were like popular or anything. And if there were, the teachers would sometimes be like, "Oh, like let so and so get practice." I was like, "Oh hell yeah, go ahead,
go
like,
ahead.
cut him up." Like, the guy's got warts all over his head. Like, I'm good. I don't need to cut it. Like, I ain't dying to do it.
Yeah, that's funny. That's crazy. But like, how do people even like find out about that?
Like there's a school, or basically it comes up as like a salon, and you still pay. And what the thing is, like, cheap people will like to go there.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
we would have days where haircuts were $5.
Damn. Well, I mean, if someone doesn't know what they're doing.
Exactly. But people go in there paying $5, but they expect like a $25 haircut.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like,
That's tough.
Yeah.
And I'm sure now you have the opposite problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's tough though. Especially because how many barbers would you say that are like pretty good that are in Twin?
Off the top of my head, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5. So
Yeah.
I can count 5.
And more people are coming in
Yeah.
that are, starting to cut hair and stuff. So, it's getting a little tough out here.
Yeah, no, it really is. And the thing is, I know people are like complaining about like $30 haircuts, $35 haircuts, which it is expensive, but if you don't like $35 haircuts, then
Go to Great Clips.
Yeah, legit. Like, go get your hair messed
Go
up.
let Stacy fuck your shit up.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Like, Stacy's licking her chops, waiting to fuck your shit up. Like,
Not to shit on all of them, but I remember back in the day, like when I would go, like sometimes I'd walk out of there and I'd be like, I'm gonna call my aunt.
yeah, like
She's gotta
it's
fix me.
bad. I remember I would go get a haircut and come home and like grab my shears and just like and chop it up. I probably fucked it up more, but
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
I was more content with it.
Yeah,
I was like,
right. We kind of skipped over like your beginning chapters. You're like, what do they call it? The origin story? Like, yeah. So, because I remember your hair, you experienced or experimented with it a lot when you were like, what, like a junior, senior?
Yeah.
You textured it and stuff. And like none of us knew any about that shit.
Dude, yeah. So I was like sitting there putting sea salt spray. I don't remember what else I would have put in it. And then I grab a sponge and just like,
Dang.
and go to work on it. And I wanted like nappy hair, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
And
Because that was when like the faux hawks.
yeah. And I'd have like a mohawk and it'd be like all curly and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of losing hair because of that now. Like I was messing with my shit way too much.
I'm going bald fast.
Dude, it's hard.
Yeah, but no. So you were like low key, even like without you even noticing, like into hair.
Yeah. And I always wanted, like every time I went to my barber at the time, I would like look up designs but I didn't like to have the same hair every single time. Like I got bored of looking the same. I was like, should I put flames or something? Like,
Where do you think you get that from?
I don't know. My mom says that I get it from my grandpa. So I never met him. He passed away before I even met him. But she said that he liked to cut hair, like not as a job, but
just like
around. Like friends and family and whatnot. And then she would butcher my shit. Growing up, she would butcher me.
Same, dude.
Yeah.
Plop a bowl.
Yeah. I got a rubber band, bro. I wasn't that lucky to
Dude,
get a
I'll have to put in some pictures because, my aunt, she used to cut my hair like back in a long time ago. And I don't know if you remember, but Pablo also had this haircut. But it's just like when you just have hair, right?
Yeah.
The rest of it's shaved and you just have a little patch in the front.
My mom would literally like put a rubber band around me, cut it all up like with a zero, and then I would sit in the bathtub, bro, and she would grab a fucking razor and she's like, "Ira, te vas a ver bien bonito." And just fucking shave everything, bro. I was like,
She's like, look how smooth that is.
I was like, fuck. And I just look in the mirror and I like, yeah, I look pretty good.
Like,
yeah.
My mom says I look fly. Right
Yeah. I would go to Utah and my cousins are like, who the fuck put a bowl on your head? I was like, screw you guys. Like, this shit looks good. Like, you guys don't know about fashion.
Mushroom head looking ass.
Yeah. My mom says I'm bonito.
Yeah. Facts, dude. That's funny. But so other things you were into, you sold shoes for a while. Dude. You got some pretty fire shoes on you.
Yeah, dude. So I started working in Foot Locker like my junior year, and it was like out of coincidence. I think Adam was, shout out Adam.
Yeah, the boy.
We were going shopping for him, and they had a form on the front desk, and it was just like, oh, like we're hiring.
Oh, sick.
So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Applied online, and then I think like 2 or 3 days later, I'm sitting on the toilet on my phone, and I received a phone call, and it was a number I didn't know. So I was like,
You're like, I'm
on the I'm like, okay, like, let me just not grunt, you know? Like, like,
just let out a meaning fart.
so I was like, okay, hello. And he's like, oh, this is so-and-so from Foot Locker. And he's like, I was just following up, wondering if we could do a quick interview. And I was like, okay, yeah. And we did it and started out there. And going in there, dude, I knew nothing about shoes. Like, I thought it was like Nikes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Just very general.
Yeah, like, oh, these are Jordans, those are cool. You know, and it's not like that. Like, it is not like that. So, got into that, and then the more that I started knowing shoes and knowing like there's a very small community for shoes out here.
Yeah,
but there
not
is
a big one.
Yeah, so you can still make like a quick $100. At least you could before. Now shoes are kind of dying off. It's not very
or they're way too
profitable.
expensive.
Yeah. And then like all the good stuff we don't get.
That's
So-
for sure. Like, it's so hard to get any decent shoes if you're not ordering them.
Yeah.
That's with clothes and stuff in general, though.
Yeah.
Like, Idaho sucks.
Yeah, it really
So
does.
ass.
And all the good shit at Foot Locker is hidden in the back.
Oh, what? So all the workers?
All the employees are like loaded up on like, if there's anything that ever is decent, it's
That's
ours.
true, because when I walk into Foot Locker, the workers have some nice shoes on. I'm like, where do I get those?
Dude, and the thing is, so now Foot Locker has like an app and it shows you like, oh, there's a size 10 in this. And you go to the store and they're like, oh, like it says on the app, like, oh no, we shipped them out. Like,
Somebody
those
just
ain't
bought
here.
those.
And not gonna lie, sometimes they do get shipped out,
Yeah.
but
Sometimes.
they got my name written on them. So sorry, Jimmy, your Air Max 90s aren't here. Like,
They're right here. That's funny. I used to do that at Shopko, but not because I wanted it, just because I did not feel like looking for it.
yeah.
Like, yeah, they'd be like, oh, do you have this sectional? Like a big ass couch, a
Yeah.
huge couch. And I'm like, I'll go check. It says we have one, but sometimes the system lies.
Yeah. And I feel like every store's like that because I feel like I go into like Walmart or Target and I'm like, oh, okay, I got what I need. And I get there and they're like, nope, I don't know if I can help you. And I was like, bro, I
want
know
to.
you're just being lazy. You're like,
Get off your ass, dude.
yeah, you get paid $15 and can't go to the back and grab me a freaking 35 pack of gum, bro. Come on, bro.
Or you could just hit a lick.
Dude, honestly. Walmart, watch out.
No, that's funny. Speaking of which, you got into some trouble when you were younger. I got into some trouble when we were younger. How have you come since then?
Dude, I think every time I did anything remotely bad, I got caught.
Yeah,
like,
right?
It was my luck.
I was like the opposite.
Yeah, like I was like, holy crap, I can't get by. Which I guess it's not necessarily true because I got away with like a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I really did feel like, oh, this is the first time I've done anything bad and I get caught. Like, this is stupid. But yeah, all I'm gonna say is, boys, don't break curfew.
Yeah.
Because you got to go to court for it. Apparently, it's stupid.
That's funny. It was you and what? Three.
Yeah,
3.
3 others.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. They know who they are.
Yeah, you guys definitely know who you are.
Yeah, we were touching, when I was in here earlier, we were talking with Juan. We were telling him about the time that I got hit by a bat.
Yeah.
And I covered that in an earlier podcast, but I didn't really go into super details over it just because I was like,
Yeah, like,
Plus, like, I've noticed that my brain remembers shit sometimes completely different than somebody else.
that's exactly how I feel.
Right? Because, like, I'll compare, like, stories with somebody, and I'll be like, no, this happened, and this happened. And then they'll be like, nah, dude, that's not how it went down.
Yeah, and I always find myself, like, as soon as they say, like, no, like, this happened and this happened too. And I'm like, oh, shit, like, it did.
You remember.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that story is one for the ages. I feel like that's something that we'll never forget is Adrian getting whacked by a bat.
Yeah, dude. So I'll go over it again because a lot of people are new from the video format.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know that I had a podcast. But now I have a video format, so cool. But yeah, it started off a regular day, senior year. It was the beginning of the year, I'm pretty sure. We
Yeah.
had just gotten into school.
Yeah.
And we went to lunch. It was me. I was driving my sister's car, a black Honda Civic. And then I was with the homie Zach. But and then who was with you? Or how many people, I should say.
Dude, I don't remember how many people were with me. I want to say it was only like 2 people.
Yeah.
Or like 1 person. Because I think there was only like 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah, because
together.
I was there, Adam was there, you, the boy Spencer, and then
I think HB was there.
Hunter? I don't remember.
I think he was there.
Oh, but yeah, so anyway, we were all pulling up to lunch because when you don't like the cafeteria food, there's a little store there where we went to high school where you just go to lunch, buy a sandwich, chips, whatever.
Yeah, shout out Joe's Market.
Yeah.
$10 sandwiches. Robbing these poor high schoolers. It's all good though.
I know. I look back and I'm like, why was that $20 for a Red Bull and a sandwich?
Like I got a piece of beef jerky and a Red Bull and that shit was $13.
Yeah. No, but I walk in and, well, actually first I drive in. And like as I'm turning into Joe's, there's like a truck with the trailer on it, and they're like honking at me and like flipping me off, and I'm like, okay, like chill out, going to lunch, man. And so I pull in, I get off, I think I was already like heating up my food by the time he walked in.
Yeah.
It had been like maybe 5 minutes, and I was heating up my lunch, I think, and then dude walks in with like an aluminum bat. And he's like, who drives that black car out there? And I was like, me? I raised my hand and I was like, yeah, I drive it, whatever. And he's like, he points it at me and he's like, you're going to kill people driving that way or something like that. Something along those lines. Like, I'm going to kill people. And I was like, okay. And he walks up to me and he's just pointing the bat at me. And then like, before I can even react or like do anything, he just goes, whoa! Like from here to here. He didn't, like we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Like he didn't wind up, but he
like he made sure you felt that shit.
Yeah. And immediately I like my face turned red. Like I'm just like, oh shit, I just got assaulted.
Yeah.
Like, like that was crazy to me. From your perspective, how was that?
Dude,
like,
so like it was like the guy comes in or whatever and he's like, oh, like who drives that black car or whatever. And I see him like pointing the bat, and I could tell like he was like saying it with like aggressive demeanor.
Dude was angry.
Yeah, like you could tell his intentions weren't good. So I was like, okay, whatever.
That stupid ass.
But I feel like everyone like after he smacked you, no one knew what to do. Like everyone like froze.
There was a second where like everything was just like did that just happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so I get hugged and like I don't think I was even like aggressive. So I used to have like anger problems back then, and I'd get aggressive really quick. But I wasn't even like in that like aggressive state.
Yeah, because it was so like shock and awe.
Yeah. And then like I just remember getting hugged like, calm down, Gerri. And I was like, no, I'm not even mad. I was like, give me a second to like get myself together. And like, then you can hug me. But I didn't even get the chance. The store owner was on that ass, boy.
Her and Spencer.
Yeah. And Spencer was about that action too.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna mess him up, dude.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna start fighting. I was like, oh god.
I would have had his back.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
Thinking back, I should have fell. Like,
Oh, dude, you should have told someone else to like cause some damage. Like, we're hitting a lick on this dude. Like,
dude, no. But back then, like that was traumatic for me because I was very like, how do you call it, sheltered.
Yeah.
And Marcos kind of talked about it, like growing to a small school in a small town. Like you don't get exposed to like a lot of real life shit.
Yeah.
And so that was like one of my first like, oh, people are out here.
Yeah.
Like, they're about that, you know?
And you can like run into crazies down the street, you know? Like you thought you were just gonna go get lunch. Nah, like you're getting whacked by a bat.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. And like the older I get, the more I see it. Like I go to a gas station and you see like a tweaker.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit.
Dude,
like, that guy could cause some damage.
Yeah, I see tweakers come by here all the time with like dogs and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm staying in here. Yeah, I'm staying in here until they're gone. Like,
yeah, it's crazy, dude. We can jump into that. We're kind of past that whole high school shit. Yeah. I like to dip in a little bit, but getting into like weird people and how society's going, like, yeah, like especially with a lot more people moving in, there's gonna be more homeless people.
Yeah, bro, and not even just homeless people, but like people that are like, you just look at them and you're like, you're not from Idaho.
Yeah, and you're not a good person.
Yeah,
like I hate to
exactly.
be like preemptively like judging people, but you could tell.
Yeah, Californians. Not all of them.
I'm gonna have to bleep that out.
No, yeah, I think that like I used to feel pretty comfortable walking around wherever at whatever time.
Not locking your doors.
Yeah, and now I have to lock my truck every time like I leave anywhere or like even if it's just parked outside, I need to lock it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not the same. And thinking about it is like, I mean, I don't know when I plan on having kids, like in 2 or 3 years or whatever.
Oh yeah, I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
too.
but I can only imagine like once they're there, like what it's gonna be like. Because if I don't,
it's scary.
Feel like it's already like on the edge of safe now. Like I can only imagine when we have kids and what they're gonna go through.
I don't know. I kind of have two like opinions on it. One, I hate that it's getting so overpopulated so quick because it's displacing a lot of people who are already living here who don't make as much money as the people moving here.
Dude, no kidding.
Yeah.
And especially like, I feel like it's affecting us, like the youth that we're like looking for houses.
Yeah, because we're barely going into it.
Yeah, bro, like that shit's a struggle. We can't afford to pay cash like some of the people that are out here spending like $400,000 on a house that.
It's like a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, bro, like 2 years ago, that same house was 150 grand. Like, what are you paying 400 grand for?
Yeah,
like,
so that's why I don't like that aspect of it. But the part that I do like, the other side, is that we're getting a lot more diversity.
Yeah.
So we get people like, I don't want to say like Southern Idaho is super racist, but it's pretty racist.
Yeah.
But like the more people move in, like Californians, people from Oregon, like you can also tell when you see really good people.
Yeah.
That you feel comfortable just like I'm not gonna lie, bro. When I get off at like D&B, like I hate going in there.
Yeah.
Because everybody's staring at me. And I'm like, dude, you don't see enough brown people like on the day-to-day basis that you can't just look at me like a normal person.
Like they run your farms. Come on, bro.
I'm like, bro, I was working for you last week. Bro. You remember me? Nah, but yeah. So I like that it's kind of broadening our views on shit. Like even like downtown Twin, like there's a bunch of more shit to do because it's not so like, I don't know. Like I like that they're making it more open.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. I just feel like I've always wanted to, like growing up in Murtaugh, you grow up and like, if you gotta pee, you run outside.
Yeah.
And you take a piss, you know? But
backyard,
Yeah, here, like now it's not the same. Like you go out there and your neighbor's like, like, oh my God, like
now you're a
what
pedophile.
is that? Like, yeah. And
You gotta
like,
register.
Yeah.
You gotta keep your house lights on Halloween, bro.
So I don't know. I really wish it would stop growing personally. I don't mind like getting, like you said, like all the different cultures around here to like blend and not have it just be one-sided. But please stop moving here.
Yeah. And that's like a lot of people don't get. Like they hear that and they'll be like, how are they still sitting next to each other?
Yeah.
Like we just disagreed, but it's chill.
Yeah.
And like the more I notice, like even on podcasts, like it seems like everybody's so you're with me or you're against me.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's a competitive nature. Like my idea is better than yours.
Yeah.
Right. But you still have to be open to like, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe they know more than me.
Yeah, exactly. And see, I have this like persona where it's like, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you have a different opinion than me, I can respect it.
Right. Like,
I'm not going to think you're right. Like, I'm not going to think you're right, but I respect it.
That's
like,
the other side.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah, no, and that's what's dope because like I was telling Carlos too, I was like, dude, what I like about you is you're so real. Like you can't like get around it, and you're the same way. Like if I have a dumb haircut, you're gonna be like, yo, I fucked this shit up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or like if my shoe game is weak, hey, bro.
Like, those ain't it. Like,
No, and I like that because we need both sides.
yeah.
If everything's just one sided, like what's the point in even like we're at that point, like not to get super conspiracy, but it's like a dictatorship.
Yeah, no,
like
for
one
real.
side rules all, like one person rules all.
Yeah.
If you're not wearing Nikes, don't come here.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, no, I understand that 100%. And it's like I said, I don't know if you can necessarily like be right or be wrong. And I don't understand how people, like you said, are like, oh, okay, like I never thought about it that way. Which sometimes I do catch myself like, oh, I didn't think about it, but the way I think about it is still right.
Dude, I feel that. I'm a narcissist as well.
Yeah, bro. Like, if I say no, that means no. Like, you're not changing my mind. Like, and especially like with my friends, when we like go and hang out, and they're like, "Oh, like, take a shot, take a shot."
Nah.
I'm like, "No, I'm good. Like, if I'm good, I'm good."
Yeah.
And you can bug me the rest of the night. You can pay me like $100 bill, and just because I said no the first
You
time,
won't?
that means I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you're like, how do you say? You're consistent.
Yeah,
like you're
like-
not gonna be like, okay, fine.
Yeah, like,
you don't give in to like peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
which is dope because you see it like growing up with you because we've known each other since what? Like I went to Head Start with
yeah, like we were like 4.
you. Yeah, that's crazy.
We're making green eggs and ham, bro.
That's so funny. I forgot that. Yeah. Dude, I think I went to Head Start for like 3 days
I don't know how long I went for,
because
but
we lived
I
like
went for a
20
while.
minutes away.
yeah,
How did we even get there?
I
The
don't
bus?
know. I think so.
Yeah,
if they have a
'cause
bus.
We were in like a completely different town.
Yeah, we were. So it had to be a bus.
Yeah. Well, we could jump back in time for a little bit. We'll switch up. So at that, well, no, I don't remember shit about when I was 4.
Yeah, me either.
When we lived not next door, but like 2 miles away.
Yeah,
Not super far away. But I remember my uncle and your brothers were good friends.
dude. Yeah, I remember that he would like come over after
our
school.
brothers. I don't know if they know that.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
Did you know that our tío Jorge used to hang out with their brothers? I'm not
No,
sure.
it was with Juan.
Oh, with Juan.
It was with Juan,
Yeah.
dude, and it was like they were like cholos.
Yeah, they were gangster.
like, dude, like they had thumbtacks at the bottom of their shoe that they thumbtack like their the back of their pants.
Yeah,
too. Like,
dude. My
they
uncle
were-
used to put my hair into little braids.
Yeah, like, if you looked at them, they were scary.
Yeah, a
like
little
they gave me the chills. But I remember I go downstairs all the time, and they'd be down there like probably like I don't know.
Yeah.
Taking care of their
Hanging out.
business. Yeah. like,
No, but I just remember like I would go with them sometimes, and most of the time you guys were just playing soccer. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Like because you guys had a huge back, or it was like a side yard.
yeah.
I don't remember a whole lot about that house. It was a brick one though, right?
Yeah, it was a big one. Yeah, and dude, that lawn was like massive.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah,
huge.
and you could probably fit a whole soccer field on it. Honestly,
Right, because
like,
that's how I remember what we would do. But like, what else would you do? Because I remember being that age, and like, since you're out there, you have a lot of options. But then again, like, you can't go super far either.
dude, yeah. So growing up, it was like I'd take a 4-wheeler around and like go feed horses.
Oh, okay.
And if I wasn't doing that, I was mowing the lawn or like,
Just keeping busy mostly.
yeah, dude, like just doing nothing but nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah, but we went from that because, interestingly enough, the more I think about it, you and I have had like similar lives almost. Because you ended up. Did you move before I did, or did I move?
Dude, I think you moved first.
I moved
'Cause-
in 4th grade, I think.
Yeah, you hella moved first.
Yeah,
Because I was
okay.
like in 7th grade.
Ah, word. See, my memory sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we go from like my biggest toy was like the trampoline and the sandbox.
Yeah.
Like that's what I did. And then I had a little like electric motorbike too. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Oh, dude, I had one of those, a little red one.
Yeah,
like
the
a-
razors,
Yeah.
dude. Those are sick.
Yeah. I crashed mine the first day.
Dude,
Into a tree, bro. Into a tree.
those were dangerous. I wonder if anybody else had them.
Yeah, that shit
If they
was no
did,
joke.
send in your stories. 'cause,
Yeah.
Yeah, those are wild. But yeah, we go from being country kids nothing to do, living in BFE. I moved to Kimberly, which is like quite a bit bigger than Murtaugh,
Yeah.
but still not super huge. I think it's like 3A for school.
Yeah, 3A.
So I was in 4th grade, but my mom at the time worked at the school, so she was like, well, you don't have to switch if you don't want to. You could just keep going to Murtaugh because I'll take you. And so I was like, all right, I'll just stay with my friends because I was in 4th grade. It's hard to make friends enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard enough to make friends. So I was like, I'm going to stay here. And then, like, I remember, like, we lived by the park. Like, we live a couple blocks from the park. So, like, I got to play basketball now. Like, there was other kids that I got to hang out with. One of my friends, he even, like, he would take me bike riding. Like, we had bikes.
Yeah.
There was, like, a group of 6 of us that we would just, like, ride around town, like, on our bikes. It was sick.
Hey, you want to ride on my pegs?
Yeah. Dude, I know you don't have a bike. I got some sick pegs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, but so what did you do? Because 7th grade, it's a little different. We had phones already.
Yeah.
So we got to talk to each other more, but how was that?
See, it was still kind of similar because all my buddies, we had bikes at the time too. And that's how you get around. And that was the cool thing to do was like, oh, like your buddy doesn't have a bike, like hop on my pegs. And we were...
Oh, well, we should mention, so this was 7th grade, but you actually changed schools.
Yeah. So in 7th grade, I didn't. But then going into 8th grade, like my parents are like, how are we going to drive you 30 minutes every day to school?
Yeah.
You know, like that's tough. And my dad worked out there, but he's like, dude, I don't know if you want to get up at 6 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning every single day.
And then where would you go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's like, I don't get off till late. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I cried. I was like,
I bet, dude.
I was like, okay, I
bet.
guess I'm going to Stewart. So I went to school here in Twin, and I had a cousin younger than me, and then a really good friend a year younger than me. And when I was at school, I was like, okay, like this shouldn't be too bad. Like I know them, but I'm used to Murtaugh where it's like one hallway.
Yeah, it's small.
Dude, I got to that school the first day and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was like 4 hallways.
Yeah, like I saw my cousin and my friend like the first morning and I was like, dude, like what do we do? Like do we just hang out?
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, yeah, we'll just chill. And then the bell rang and I had no classes with like anyone.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, and I was like, oh crap. So I go to class and honestly the first day was like rough. Like I got to talking to people luckily because
You're a pretty social person.
yeah, so I was like, okay, like just conversating a little bit. But there was this one dude that I remember, like, and it's gonna be a memory forever. Like this dude in my geology class? No, geography class.
yeah.
Geography class.
Some subject.
Yeah. So he was just staring at me, and like he was like dressed like in baggy clothes and stuff, and I was like, dude, like what the fuck are you looking at? Like, why the fuck do you keep staring at me? So then
You would.
Yeah,
I'm sure
like-
you said that.
Yeah.
Like that exactly.
like, and the second day, he stares at me again, and I was just like, dude, like what the fuck is this dude's problem? So then at lunch, I'm sitting there, and I made some friends, so I was sitting with them at the table, and that dude, like, there was just a big table, and it was like a bunch of dudes, and that was like the cool kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was sitting there, and he was staring at me, and like I was just like, dude, like what the hell? And
Yeah.
so I finally just like, what? And he's like, come here.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit, like I'm getting called over to a cool kid's table. Like,
Damn. It could go one of two
watch
ways.
out. Like I'm here.
Yeah,
like, you know,
as you're leaving, you're like, yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah. Well, not yet, because I don't know if they're gonna take me in or yet. So
You
if I
guys
get
suck.
rejected, like I still got a place to come back to. So anyway, like I go over there, and he's like, "Why are you putting your hands up?" And I was like, "Do you have a problem or something?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have a fucking problem." He's like, "You keep staring at me." And I was like, "Bro, you're fucking staring at me." And he's like, I'm just playing, bro. He's
Oh.
like, I know your cousin. He's like, I was like, oh, you motherfucker. So he's like, oh, like, come sit down with us and eat lunch. And he's one of my good homies. Now I don't really talk to him, but I still see him.
Uh-huh.
And it's crazy how life works. That year he got a girlfriend in 8th grade, and it's his wife now.
What?
So yeah, they stayed together all through high school.
Some people are like that.
Yeah, bro, and it's crazy. And I was like, okay, cool, like whatever. But yeah, he took me in, and after he took me in, dude, like within the next 3 or 4 days, everyone at my new school was like, "Oh, what's up, Gerri?"
Oh,
like,
damn,
like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you got used to it pretty quick.
Yeah, thankfully, like it wasn't anything rough. So it was because of him. Because of him. So yeah,
That's cool.
Thank God to him.
Yeah, but then, so how long did you go there?
Dude, I was only at that school for 3 months, maybe. But in those 3 months, I think I made more friends than I
Like since then?
Dude, no, like I made as much friends as there is people in Murtaugh.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. Like, and so that was pretty cool. I was only there for 3 months. Go back to Murtaugh, and I go back to Murtaugh, and one of our teachers, dude, he was super excited to see me.
Which, I'll just
So
bleep it out.
yeah. So shout out to him, and he was like super excited, like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you're back," or whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, I know." Like, and he like came down the hallway, hugged me.
Yeah.
It was like, "Oh, so nice to have you back," and I was like, "Oh, like, hell yeah!"
Like, this is what it feels like.
I was missed.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is nice. Like, you know, people actually like me.
Yeah.
Bro, and then like not even 2 minutes later, she was like our main teacher.
Is
She had
she
short hair.
blonde or?
No,
Oh,
short
the
hair.
other one.
Yeah.
No, we could say her name. Miss Pfeiffer, dude?
Yeah, dude.
She was a bottle rocket, dog.
Dude.
Holy shit.
Not even 2 minutes later, they're like, "Oh, like Jerry's coming back to class or whatever," and she pulls me out from everyone else. And she's like, "We have a good thing going right now. Like no one's being like misbehaving." She's like, "Don't mess it up." And I was like, "Bro, what the?"
She was a bitch, dude. I'm not even gonna lie. There's some teachers that are good. Some great teachers.
Yeah.
She was not one of them.
I agree 100%.
Yeah,
and
no,
she's
hell
like,
no.
"Oh, I'm leaving to Wisconsin." Do you remember when she's like, "Oh, like I'm not gonna be here anymore"? So as soon as we heard that, like I think she wanted everyone to like cry for her.
Aw, like,
And
we
everyone was
miss
like,
you.
"Hell yeah!" Like, "Oh,
Yeah.
see ya.
See you later."
Yeah, like I was like, I remember you.
Yeah.
Like you got me in a lot of trouble, lady.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the laser pointer.
Bro.
Yeah, dude.
She wasn't even there. She just assumed. I know it was you. I was
That's
like,
so
bro,
funny.
it was me, but
Yeah,
still.
no, but yeah, and from our side, like, cause, like she said, once you left, it's not necessarily that we behaved well. It's just that like we didn't have, cause you were like our leader. Like, whenever we would like fuck around, like you were the one that was like, all right, here we go.
And I've always been such an instigator.
Yeah.
Like I love it. Like I'm like I see like a little thing happen there. I'm like, oh, like how can I spark that? Like how can I intensify that? Like, you know, push it to the next level.
Yeah, you see two dudes arguing about like a sucker. Like I'm like, oh, this is my sucker, and you're like, wow, he called you a bitch.
Yeah, like, you said fuck you. He's taking your fucking sucker.
Yeah,
Like,
I wouldn't let him do that.
Dude. I would snatch the sucker and fucking sock it.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it happens.
yeah.
That's so funny. But yeah, like, how do you think? Because aside from like getting in trouble, you led us in like sports and like honestly, like I don't even know how to explain. It wasn't so much that like you like pushed us super hard, but like we saw you do something and we were like, oh, like you kind of set the path in a way.
Yeah.
Where do you think you get that like leadership from?
I don't know if it's. I personally believe that people are born to be leaders and it comes naturally.
Okay.
I don't think that you can teach leadership.
Okay, yeah.
To me, I don't think it anyway. Like I feel like if,
true leaders,
yeah. Like if you want to follow someone and like, and I always think about it like in sports, like he has to have it from like the day that he was born. I don't think that you can like wake up one day and be like, oh, like I'm gonna be a leader, because you have to carry that character
like
with you.
naturally.
Like, yeah,
you don't have to try to be a leader.
yeah,
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think I ever like, and I don't think I ever saw myself as like I need to do this to set the example.
You just did it.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this is what needs to be done. I'm gonna do it.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, in terms of that, I don't think I have anyone that I was like, oh, like they taught me how to be a leader, or they taught me to do this or that. The only thing I can say is my parents always taught me right from wrong, and they always try and help me do that way. And I guess that's kind of how I view most things in life.
Like your core values?
Yeah, is like, how would my mom feel about this?
Okay. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, because I think a lot of the times we get stuck on one side of the fence.
Yeah.
Where it's like you don't want to give a shit because you're your own person, right? Yeah. You're like, I make my own decisions, but at the same time, it's like, what would they think? At the end of the day, and you shouldn't do that with everybody's opinion. No, hell no.
Right.
Like you should take like good advice, and the only people's opinions that you should worry about are people that you respect a lot.
Yeah.
Yourself, and then like obviously your parents.
Yeah.
Unless they're like bad parents.
Yeah.
But for the most part.
Unless
like,
they don't love you. Like,
yeah. Like I think it's important that we balance that out, because we can get stuck, like I said, on one side of the fence where it's like you start going on the wrong path and you're like, I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'm going to do it my way. You end up fucking yourself over. And then you have no one to go back to because you told them to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I think a lot of it is how like you grow up and how you're raised in like your household, and I think that's like a major part of it. But I definitely agree. Like you can't go out on your own and do everything on your own, but you also can't abide to like every single little thing that someone is like telling you to do. Like, oh, you got to do this, or you can't do this, or whatever. Because then you're gonna end up like not loving necessarily your life, but
like to give a good example, like for you, when you started your barbershop, like when you got your certificate and you were ready to go, you had options. You could be like, okay, I'm gonna go cut hair under this person. I could try and start my own, you know, stuff like that. And how did you keep your interests in mind, but also take advice from like people you trust about opening your business?
Bro, so I'm gonna get into a short story. So I have a family member who works in the bank.
Okay.
And when I was going to Cosmo school, like I had to find a way to pay for it. Like that shit was not cheap.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, like I don't know what to do. So I took out a loan from the school, and then I was like, well, maybe I can take out a loan with like lower interest from a bank. And that's kind of what my thought process was. So I went to a that works at a bank, and like me and my dad went and sat down with him, and we're like, oh, like we need this much money. Like I need to get to college, through college or whatever. He's like, oh, okay. Well, like, what are you going to college for? And I was like, oh, I'm going to become a barber. He's like, there's money in that?
Oh, so right away.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I sure hope so. Like, you know, if I'm paying this much money, I hope I get that money back.
That's kind of an ouch, right?
No, dude, it is. It really
a little bit
is.
of a slap in the face, right?
So I was like, okay, like, and he's like,
Red Bull at?
It's over there.
Oh shit! Will you get that?
You should be a doll and grab it for him.
I need like. Do you watch Joe Rogan?
I watched some.
Oh, it's over. He's like, hey Jamie, can you? Thanks, dude.
So.
But yeah, sorry.
No, yeah. So.
He asked if there's money.
Yeah, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I hope so. Or went with my dad and talked about it at home. And I got to the point, and I was like, my dad's like, well, let's go back. Because he said that he could do it. He's like, yeah, we can get it done.
Oh, okay.
My dad's like, oh, well, let's go get the loan figured out then. And I was like, nah, fuck that.
Oh, you changed your mind?
Like, no, I was just like, I'm going to get the money somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
Like, if I'm going to take I know it's not his money, but it's who he works for, and he's getting a commission off of it.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, if I'm gonna take it, like, you better fucking believe in what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, here's the money. Like, you're probably gonna fail.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, I didn't take his money, got through school, and I still work part-time at Foot Locker.
Yeah.
And shoot, this had to be about a year ago that I saw him. And I happened to be working that day, and he was looking for shoes. He's like, oh, like, I thought you went to Cosmo School. And I was like, no, I did. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, did you finally realize that there's no money in it? Is that why you're working at Foot Locker?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, this is my side gig.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I was like, I make a living for myself, so I was like, I think I do okay.
You're like, I work here to get free shoes,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Like, I'm just trying to get nice shoes. So I was like, okay, whatever. And he came in to get his haircut one time, and kind of just spoke like low about like barbering and stuff.
While you were cutting his hair?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I was like, okay, whatever. So one day, like, I usually don't care what people have to say or people have to think. Mm-hmm. But out of nowhere, like, I was just like, you know what? Like, in my head, I was like, fuck this dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I went to the bank, bro. And I made sure he was working. And I took all the money out that I had from my bank account, and I transferred it into that account. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm just going to transfer it to this. And he's like, oh, like, what is this for? And I was like, it's just my money that I had in my checkings. I was like, I just want to transfer it. And he's like, oh, okay. like, that was like the one person I wanted to say, fuck you. Like, that was my moment.
Yeah.
And like, after I left, I felt so good. Yeah. I was like, dude, like,
you were the bigger man, and you
like,
still won. Like, that
like,
happens.
And I was just like, fuck you, man. Like, I could have done it a million ways. And my biggest way of doing it was just ignore him. No, I wanted to ignore it. Like, not even acknowledge him. Like, you know, what you say doesn't really matter to me. Like, you drive, I don't know what you drive. And I don't want to hate on you, but you're not driving what I'm driving. Yeah. So, like...
Yeah, no, I get that. Because at the same time, you want to just shit on him and be like, you didn't believe in me? Look at what I did. Look at what because you're a successful guy, dude. You've always been. You find a way. Like, you're persistent. And I think it's so dope that you didn't say, like, fuck you. You were just like, the results, like, they show off for themselves. Bro. I don't have to say shit to you. It's just...
Dude,
it is what it is.
It was like such a, like, I'm so vocal, and I've always been so vocal my whole life. Like, if I have something to say, like, I'm going to say it. Mm-hmm. And I think that helped in my leadership was that I was never afraid to say what I felt or what I didn't feel or what I thought was right or wrong. Mm-hmm. But in my head, I was just like, dude, I'm going to tell this dude, like, fuck off. Like, do you want to fucking compare bank accounts? But I didn't want to. Like, I don't care how much you make. Like, to me, that doesn't make you more. That doesn't make you less.
Yeah, true.
And I just don't get it. I was like, bro, like, usually you want
facts.
But I feel like...
And especially in a situation like that, where it's like, I'm sure he's a good guy.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he seems like he's good to his family and his kids, and like, I personally don't have anything against him. Like, I don't dislike the dude. I don't have any problem against him, but my only thing is that I had a problem with the way that he was treating me.
The disrespect.
Yeah, like, and he's like he told me, he's like, this investment isn't worth your dad's money, and I was like, oh, well, it's gonna be my money. I'm the one that's paying it back or whatever. He's like, well, you're going to put your dad through a hard time.
Just a lot of assumptions.
Like, I was like, okay, whatever, man. So, and my dad was still like, I mean, he's just looking out for us. So he wants to, like,
help him too.
Yeah. And, like, you know, he knows that he gets that money. So actually, like, I would cut hair out of my garage.
Yeah, I remember that.
I would cut hair out of my garage. And by the time I graduated, like, thankfully to like all my homies and all my friends that were like close and like helped me out from the beginning, I was done paying college by the time I stepped out.
That's
of that thing.
legit, dude. That's a dream for a lot of people.
Yeah, and it only came true because of all like you guys and my friends and that would like come over, and sometimes I would be like, oh, like give me $10. And some people I still charge $10.
Yeah.
Because they were there like when I was
From the
fucking your
jump.
shit up.
Yeah.
I was fucking your shit up. And you would still give me $20 to fuck your shit up? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Like I can give you a $10
That's
haircut and I
funny.
do not mind.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because I think that's important. Because, like I said, like, I like to brag about my friends a lot just because, like, they're all doing hella crazy shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I'm like, dude, is this what it's like to be, like, an average person? Dude, I see, like, everybody's doing crazy shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Bro, and I feel like, so I had one of our friends tell me too, he's like, dude, how's it feel to be like the most successful out of all of us? But I don't see it as that.
Yeah,
don't-
I mean, I think everybody's just, like, on a different path right now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And that's what I told him. I was like, I don't think I'm more successful than anyone in our class. Like, I think everyone who was really successful in high school, like academics wise, a lot of them are struggling, bro.
Yeah, bro, and you hate to see it. Like,
Dude,
honestly,
yeah.
like, I love my old classmates. Like, we got into fights or whatever, but, like, at the end of the day, like, I grew up with those people.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, it's tough.
The-
But the one thing is, like, I got to point this out. Shout out to Adam because he's, like, the only one left going to school.
Dude, he is legit.
Yeah.
He and I think a lot of his is too that like he's never like depended on anyone really.
No,
like
dude, yeah, he's, like, self-sufficient.
yeah, like he wants to get something done, like, he's gonna get it done on his own.
He'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what's been crazy because we're all different, but at the end of the day, I think we all have the sort of characteristic of like never wanting to be not last, but always putting forth effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you look back at who we were and who our classmates were, and you kind of see that it translated to life in a way. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? There's people
Exactly.
that had like 4.0 GPAs, but like they didn't know how to talk to people.
Yeah,
Or,
exactly,
you know what I mean?
bro. Yeah.
So honestly, like whoever's out there listening to this, watching to this, like it doesn't matter what situation you're in. You could be anybody, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro.
if you would have thought like when we were in high school, sophomore year, that you would be in this position, what would like someone told you like,
Bro, and I know that 80% of the teachers didn't believe that most of the guys in our class were gonna do shit.
yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of believers.
Yeah, like, and it makes me laugh because I think some people like, there's a specific person that I can think about that got in a lot of trouble and didn't do the best in school. And right now he has an office job.
Yeah,
With,
dude.
bro, like, shout out to him.
Crazy
bro.
shit. Man got expelled
Yes.
halfway through junior year?
Yeah.
And then comes back senior year, caught up on everything.
Yeah.
Even ahead, I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he was ahead of us in school and he graduated.
Yeah, bro.
And I was like, this guy just shit on the school system.
Dude, yeah. Yeah,
He
legit.
proved you could get expelled. Like, he had not good grades, right? I
Yeah,
don't remember
no,
specifically.
dude. I know he didn't have good
Yeah,
grades. Like,
and he's like one of the closest homies. And I was just talking to him the other day, but he's like, yeah, it's wild, bro. It's even like fucking my mind up right now.
yeah, like legit though. Like, I'm not saying that you don't have to be successful in school, but you do not have to be successful in high
you
school.
don't. Yeah, it's
You do
not.
not.
It's been proven over and over again.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own path.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
exactly.
oh, dude, that's wild. I still can't get
Yeah.
over that.
Yeah, that shit blows my mind.
But we'll stop talking about ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
But let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about having kids because I had this conversation earlier with Juan, and I was like, dude, like I don't know if I want to bring a kid into this world.
Yeah.
But to go along with that, let's say we do have kids. what's one thing that you would want to teach your kid? If you can't teach them anything else, just one thing, like in life. Like, let's say, like, how to get along with others, or like respect your elders. Like, what is one thing that you would want to teach them?
I think persistence.
Okay.
Like, because no matter what, you're always gonna go through good shit. You're always gonna go through bad shit, and you just gotta deal to like keep going.
Okay, like a don't give up attitude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I don't know. I think that's the biggest thing, because you can teach someone respect, and you can teach them to like be the most respectful person that and they'll get taken advantage of, you know? And I don't know. I think just the idea of never giving up and always keeping your eyes like forward and not going back. I think that's.
I get what you're saying. No, and that's like a really good value to have. I was gonna go with it just flew my mind. I was trying to, it was like very similar. Try. Oh yeah. So mine would be like try everything. Like maybe not heroin.
Yeah.
Like everything else. Like it doesn't hurt most of the time. You know what I mean? You never know. You might dip your toe into something and you're gonna love it, dude.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you never would have like even cut your brother's hair.
Yeah.
Like you could be a completely different person.
See, and I can't say the same thing because I won't even tried mustard.
Like, I don't like mustard either, bro.
No, I haven't tried it. I can just smell it, and I'm like, hell no, that ain't for me. That's not for me, bro.
I haven't tried it.
That's so funny. I'm good on that.
Yeah, that's cool though. Persistence.
Yeah,
that's dope. How many kids would you want to have? Like, if you could choose, it's a blessing to even have one.
Yeah. I would want 2 or 3.
Boys or girls?
Dude, I wanted boys forever. And I only wanted boys because my mom always told me, like, when I was growing up, and she would always tell me, like, all the stuff that you're putting these girls through, like, it's going to come back on your daughter.
That's the same.
I did not want a daughter. I do not want a daughter.
That's the last thing I want.
Hell no. Like, I am so sorry. Like, please bless me with boys.
Yeah.
So, but the more I think about it, I'm such a girl dad, bro.
Yeah? That's cool.
Like, I'd be such a girl dad. And I've talked about it with my fiance, and I'm just like,
oh, yeah, which we forgot to mention.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I'm taken. Yeah. I'll cut your boyfriend's hair, though.
No, that's funny. But so you girls, huh? I think I'm more on the guy. Like, I would think I want a little mini me.
See, and I kind of want that, too, because, like, I feel like I think you can do it with girls, too. Like, but everything I envision is, like, with a boy.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like my nature and like lovingness
more
like,
towards
a girl. Like
okay.
I feel like I would be such a girl dad.
All right. And so let's say I have 2 twin boys and you have like a twin boy and a twin girl.
Yeah.
What do you think affects them more? So they call it nurture or nature. So you could separate those two, completely different lives, and they'll still have similarities, like in the way they act. What do you think influenced you more? Like, if you had a twin, what would have made you more different than them? The nurture or the nature part? I don't know if I worded that.
Yeah, no, I think you did. My fiance is actually going for social work, and we had a similar conversation actually not that long ago. To me, it's nurture.
Really?
I think so.
Okay. So you think it's more like where they grow up, who they grow up with?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's nature. I think it's nurture. Everything that I can think about, all my core values are like based off of who I was around.
Oh, okay.
And like my family, the way that I was raised, like. And we had this conversation because it's so tough.
It's really hard to have.
This, I don't think there is a right answer.
There isn't.
What do you think?
For me, like I never, it's so hard because I never have I have opinions, but I could play any side whenever just because I like to debate. I think I think I can't come up with one. I'm going to say a little bit of both. Or most. If I had to pick, mostly nature for me. Just for the sake. I was going to say, for the sake of the conversation.
Yeah.
I'll go with nature. Just because I think that, like you said, we do get influenced by others, the nature.
Yeah.
Or the nurture.
Nurture, yeah.
But the nature, you create your own beliefs from those. If that makes sense. So, like, not saying either side is wrong. You take into account both your own nature, but out of the nurture.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
It's so hard to even talk about.
Yeah,
for me anyway.
It's such a tough topic.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Tough.
I literally, because for me, to take as an example, like, I went to school, and I want to get into one more story, but I went to school with a bunch of M&Ms.
Yeah.
That's what we were called, actually, by a special guy.
Yeah.
I want to talk about him because it's crazy shit. But what should we call him? Cody. We'll call him Cody.
Yeah.
That's close enough. He'll come kill us or something, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, hell no. I ain't releasing his name.
Shit. I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah. So I don't know if this was a good transition or not, but the nature and nurture. So he came into our school calling us M&Ms.
Yeah.
Mexicans and Mormons.
Right.
He was a white dude, but he was a Mormon.
Yeah.
And so, like, he was racist, like, actually racist. Like, that was the first time I had ever met someone like that.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, like, you're brown, I don't like you.
Yeah, exactly.
And, Cody, dude, like, he tried to scrap with everybody. He tried to fight everybody because they were
biggest
brown.
dude.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Like,
yeah.
the biggest dude sent straight from, I don't even know where that guy was from. With the great hair.
Oh, shit,
dude. 12 years old, bunch of gray hair.
Yeah.
Biggest dude, like,
Yeah, he's
out of
large.
Guanajuato. Like, I don't know where he was from. Like, straight from the motherland.
Yeah,
like,
big ass Mexican.
yeah, dude. Like, this dude was hauling hay bales on his back. And shit. Like, this
Don't
dude
even
was
need a
no
horse.
joke. Yeah, I remember he, like, in the locker room one time he, like, picked me up and, like, slammed me and just knocked the wind out of me.
Oh my goodness.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
Bro, I could not breathe. He was big.
There's a lot of shit that went down in that locker room.
Yeah, dude, so much shit.
But one of them was with Cody. You,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I think anyway.
No.
Who was it?
Not me. Was it me?
I feel like you did. I feel like you fought him.
Oh, I wanted to say it was
You can say their name.
long hair.
You can say it. I'll just bleep it
Spencer.
out. Maybe, yeah. All right,
Because I
one of
thought
our-
he. Oh no, he was with Zach.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure it was you, dude.
Yeah, it was
I'm pretty
me.
sure you fought him. Yeah, but anyway, that kid, Cody, super racist. We never, like, got along with
Yeah, it
him.
was
He was
me.
fighting everybody. Jerry finally one day just daps him up, beats the shit out of him. And so, like, I think from then on, we didn't become friends.
Yeah.
But, like, he respected us.
Oh hell yeah! It was,
And so it turned into this weird, like, to tie into nature and nurture, his nature, actually more so nurture.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
nurture
yeah.
growing up, his parents were racist.
Yeah.
His sister was racist. He knew nothing else than being racist.
Right.
And then he comes plop right into a school full of people that he doesn't like, has probably not ever had a full conversation with any one of them, and just hates them right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I remember you beat the shit out of him. This was like days in. And then slowly but surely, he started like flipping this, like the coin. He started seeing the other side.
And the crazy thing is, as much as he hated us, like we'd walk around with those cinch bags, with the Nike cinch bags. And then he had like I don't know what it was.
Like a
just
Wells Fargo.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
something just regular or whatever. And then the next day, like you see him like with a check mark and he wrote Nike on it. So it kind of blew my mind, like, oh, you hate us, but you want to be wearing the same shit as us. all
Which
of a sudden?
kind of ties back to a terrible issue that is happening everywhere in the United States right now, where like he came from like, I don't want to say super poor. I don't know his situation. I don't know what his situation
like
actually
poverty.
was.
Yeah.
But he didn't make a lot of money. Not to say that our parents did. We're like lower middle class at best.
Right.
But we had enough money to like buy a Nike bag, a Jordan bag, and like It's crazy, dude. He's racist. He doesn't like Mexicans, and he sees us wearing those Nike bags. And suddenly, that must have been so fucking crazy for him.
Yeah.
Like, I hate these people, but I want to be like them.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine what his brain was going through right there.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I think he saw it as like, everyone likes them. Like, is it, what
Why?
is it?
Yeah, why?
Like, what is it? And I think by the time that he left, he was like, these people aren't bad.
Yeah, like he learned. He got to experience it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people like today, it's not to be offensive, but like with any race, it's always the poverty, like the white trash, the brown trash, you know, like all that. The poverty people they're the ones that are talking the most shit.
Yeah.
Like me and my sister got into like, I get really like pissed off when I hear about shit on Facebook because I hate Facebook. I have a page, but for my fucking podcast.
Yeah.
But other than that, I deleted it because I hated it. Because it is so easy to just find something and like, let's say the conversation me and her were having was like KMVT, the local news station. They shared a post where like an illegal immigrant died on the border and they were like hanging, like they got stuck and they were hanging. And there was comments on there from people in Twin where we live that were like, fuck them. That's what they get for trying to climb over the border. And I'm like, that's a human being.
Yeah.
Like, above all else, you can hate whatever you want. Like, how are you going to say, good, that person died for trying to find a better life?
And the bad thing is that in their eyes, it isn't wrong.
Yeah,
like,
they think it's okay.
It's their profile. It's the first, like, it's your first impression of that person.
Yeah. And
they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, half the profiles don't even have a profile picture.
Yeah.
Like, it's just some, like, old-ass dude, like, talking shit on the
Confederate
internet.
flag.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, if you saw these people in person, you wouldn't say that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Hell no.
Stop all that,
Hell
man.
no.
I hate, like, that's one thing that I just absolutely, like, want to demolish. Like, everybody wants to end racism, right? But the one thing that, like, we can stop is all that bullshit.
Yeah,
Why do we
exactly.
let that happen? Why do we just let people wish death upon innocent people?
Yeah.
Like, that's wild to me. If you take a second, if I were to go up to someone who posted some crazy shit like that, like, I'm glad they died or whatever, shouldn't have been doing that. If I looked at them and said, like, that's a real human being right there. They were struggling over there. It's not easy to get a U.S. Citizenship at all.
Dude, not at all.
And, like, do I agree that they should be climbing over the fence? That's, like, a fucking completely different topic.
Right.
What I don't agree with is applauding the death of an innocent person.
Exactly. Like, if you have kids, imagine someone applauding the death of your kid.
Yeah, like,
or of your mother.
Yeah, because
They don't know, like, bro.
easy enough, it could have been the other situation where your mom said some racist shit and they killed her. And then the race that was being discriminated were like, hell yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, like,
how
she's
would you
fucking
feel?
racist. Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's your mom, bro. That was somebody's mom.
Yeah.
That was somebody's daughter. That was somebody's
hell
sister.
no.
Like, it's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah, that shit is fucked.
Crazy shit.
I hate that shit.
Me too. And I wanted to make it this podcast because I know you feel the same way.
Dude. And so I'm engaged to a white girl.
Yeah, and which is
Right?
a perfect, like,
Dude.
scenario.
Dude, so, and we had this conversation, like, I get scared. Like, not so much, but there is a fear of me, like, as soon as, like, I get pulled over or I'm, like, talked to by cops,
Yeah.
there's a certain fear. Like, not like, you know, how, like, movies depict it or whatever, like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But in the back of your head, like, you can't make a sudden movement.
You're more scared than like one of our friends is. Because our friends like talk shit to cops.
Yeah. Hell no. I'm like, hell no. And my girl's like, oh, like, why? Like, they're just trying to help. And, like, I understand that they're just trying to help. Like, don't get me, I am not like my friends. Like, like, cops, thank you, I applaud you guys.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like, but at the same time, there's like a little fear in the back of my head. And she's like, well, why? You know, whatever. And I was like, if we ever have a brown kid, you'll understand.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I know that her parents feel the same way. Like, oh, like, why would you be scared of cops?
Because it's hard. It's hard to see it from their perspective.
Yeah.
And we have to respect that. That's the other side of it, is we as like Hispanic people can't be so like, it's because I'm brown. Like, that's another problem.
Yeah,
that's another problem that makes it worse.
Yeah. And you can't, and that's why I think I don't have that much of a fear, because I'm respectful to them. And like, as long as I'm being respectful, then I'm just like, okay, whatever, Like
correct procedure, nothing could go wrong.
But in the back of your head, you're always thinking like you could be in that situation, like that you just get a shitty person.
Yeah, like, because exactly, it's like that aspect of like all cops are bad. They're not. Yeah, they're not. I know some great cops.
Yeah.
But it only takes one to make the masses pissed off.
Exactly. And I told my girl, I was like, if we ever have kids and they turn out like pretty dark toned, I was like, and they're in a situation like this, like you'll understand. Like it's.
Hopefully we can get to a point where it's not like that.
Right. And I don't think I've ever been in that situation where like I've been treated like shit by a cop necessarily. I have been treated like shit because of my skin color and other
That's
stuff.
inevitable. Yeah, if you didn't know that, if you're a white person that lives in Twin Falls, Idaho, we face discrimination almost every day.
Yeah, and it's stupid as fuck. And like, you can call us babies or whatever, but you can tell.
We live with it.
Yeah,
like obviously we're here. We're trying to do shit. You own a business.
Legit.
Like we're getting through it.
Legit.
Doesn't affect us that much, but it's there.
Like, dude, so my dad's English is super rough, and I've been with him before, where like he's trying, and he's trying to explain stuff, and they just look at him like, what? And like just
rude as fuck.
Like rude as fuck. And I'm like, bro, like fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I literally just want to say like fuck you. Like you're a stupid bitch. Like,
or like this is way less like serious, but like I work construction, so like if like what do you call him? A contractor walks around the corner and he sees me and he's like, and I'm like, what's up, dude? What do you need? Like I speak English.
Yeah.
Maybe try, and I would have responded to you in English.
Yeah.
Like, don't assume I don't speak English.
Yeah, that shit pisses me off, bro.
I'm like, I have probably a way more extensive vocabulary than you. Don't test me. I read dictionaries.
I'm a human dictionary, bro.
But yeah, that was a good rant. I fuck with that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck, couldn't get that off my chest. But no, we could get into what you're doing now. So besides all the bullshit we go through, you made it through college or through school. And so let's say first year out of like you're here. Maybe not here, but like out of your garage. How was that first year?
No, so it was. So I got out of my garage before I even finished school because my neighbor's a hater, bro.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
My neighbor's a fucking hater, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's a piece of shit that is like 60 years old. No one ever visits him. No one likes him, I don't think. And just like called the city on me for running a business.
Yeah, because we would go over to your house and you would be like, hey, don't back up into that guy's driveway.
Yeah.
Like, don't even stop by his house.
Yeah, dude. And that was his problem, that someone backed up into his driveway and got it dirty. Called the city on me, got me into a bunch of bullshit. Hopped out. Thankfully, my girl's dad is a fucking savior and had a spot for me.
I forgot you even cut hair there.
Yeah, dude. So he helped me out big time. So shout out to him because that helped me out a lot. Anyway, jump forward to my first year here. For a second, I thought my cousin was right. I made money.
But you started getting those doubts?
Dude, yeah. Like, I was second guessing myself. I was like, holy shit, man. Like, do I need to find a morning job? Do I need to find a night job? Because, like, I'd be busy for 4 hours of the day. And it's okay money, but, like...
Not a lot.
Dude, yeah. And I was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but... excuse me.
No, you're good.
Thankfully, like, I didn't even blow up thanks to anything besides word of mouth. Dude.
Okay. So, like, you weren't doing any crazy marketing like that?
Dude, like, my marketing is my fucking haircuts.
Nice. That's the best way to be,
you
bro.
walk out of the door.
Hell yeah.
And you have a good looking haircut.
Who cut your hair?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need like fancy Instagram, fancy Facebook. Like, if you look at my Instagram, I don't post that much.
Yeah, you should.
I know I should. And I take pictures. And I'm like, oh hell yeah, that shit looks badass. And then I go back and I edit it and like make a couple little tweaks and like the lighting and shit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this looks hella good. And then I just don't get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever. Like I'm gonna save this picture for like Wednesday.
Yeah,
And then Wednesday comes around and I forget about it. But thankfully, like, people like my haircuts. And I'm a firm believer that everyone has their barber.
Yeah.
Like, whoever cuts your hair or whatever, like, they may not cut the next dude's hair perfect.
Yeah, it's like, how do you say it? Like clientele?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you start to know exactly how to cut their hair, kind of?
Yeah, and, well, not even that. It's more of like, I could go to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey could be the best barber in the world, but my head shape, he just doesn't know how to work with it.
Okay, word.
And like, maybe he just brings my fade up higher than I like it.
And you don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and like, that's why I believe, like, maybe I cut this dude's hair, and everyone's like, oh shit, like that haircut looks perfect on him. And then his friend Jimmy comes in, and I do what I think would look good, or like what he asked me to do, and I put like my own touch on it.
Because you know more than we do.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, like that's not what I asked for.
Oh, shit.
Like that's not what I like. And he goes back and gets another haircut by John, and John just kills it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay,
and,
I know what you're
and I
saying
don't
now.
get offended by it
Yeah.
because everyone has their barber, but thankfully, like, I'm a good amount of people's barber. Like, I got lucky that people like the way I cut hair.
That's dope. Yeah, I try to plug you everywhere, dude. Because I'm like, why would you not?
Yeah, like,
why
I
would you not
appreciate
get your
it.
hair cut by this guy?
Dude, and like a lot of my people, a lot of my clients like to shit on other barbers. Like, dude, this guy sucks. Don't fucking go to him. Like, if you're gonna
Don't be
go
like
to
him,
if
dude.
you're gonna go to anyone in Twin, go to fucking Gerri. Like, that's who you need to go to.
You're just clarifying. You're like, I'm not the one putting these rumors out there.
Dude, I'm so against it.
Yeah. You want to build
So
other
against
barbers,
it.
right?
Like, yeah, like in my perspective, especially when people shit on people that just are coming up, dude, it was a struggle for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to like not give up, but find like another route to go because of it. So now I can't talk shit about people's haircuts. I'm like, dude, like, and even when people are like, oh, so-and-so charges $50. I'm like, dude, but people pay it. Like, good for them.
It's working,
and
right?
because I see it, and I'm like, bro, like, he has a family to feed. He has bills to pay.
Yeah.
And I was at one point, like, struggling. So I can't ever, like, be the reason someone struggles.
If anything, you want to be the one that when they get to a point like you where you were ready to give up, maybe you're the guy that's just like, hey, man, I've been looking at your haircuts. Like, they're pretty good. Like, keep putting in the work.
Dude,
like,
yeah.
you'll just get better every day.
Exactly. And what I want to do is, like, when I get to the point where I'm just too full, recommend it to those people.
Okay,
like,
word.
dude, go to him because he might not give you the best haircut right now, but in a year, this boy's going to kill it.
Hell yeah. Okay. Would you ever be interested in like kind of the setup here where you have your barbers, if that makes sense? Like they pay you to be here?
Hell no.
No. Okay. So you
No.
wouldn't want to open like a multi barber shop.
Hell no.
You just want it to be
I've
you?
always been just me.
That's cool.
Like, that's my, like, I enjoy having, like, just me and my clients. Someone fucked it up for me when I moved in here, but it's all good.
But is that like, how do I say it? Is it because you know the work you can do and you want that attached to your name, kind of?
Dude, yeah, so kind of. So I don't want, like, especially if you get people who don't work hard and like,
Yeah.
oh, like, so-and-so at this shop, like, they don't even show up. Like, don't go there.
They only do two haircuts.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, I've never dreamt of a shop where, like, there's 10 chairs and there's a huge amount of people just bullshitting or whatnot. Like when I'm there to work, like I like to bullshit a little, but I'm there to work.
And it's more of a one-on-one.
Yeah. Like, and I would want to get something like similar in size and like have a pool table or something to like entertain or something.
But you want it to be yours.
Dude, yeah.
Okay.
And I want it to be like, if I have my buddies over and they're being loud, they're not in anyone's way.
Word, okay.
And if people have, like, say I have a 50-year-old John in here, business professional, and like, he likes to just talk and get a haircut. He doesn't
need all the extra
like,
stuff.
he doesn't need people vaping. Mm-hmm. He doesn't need, like, people cussing around him and stuff like that.
There's times and places for these things. Yeah, for sure.
And I think that a lot of people think, like, oh, you're a barber, like,
carefree.
Yeah, and it's not like that, bro. Like,
it's tough because at the same time you don't want to be like a bad like host. Yeah,
and I don't want people like, oh, he's fake. Like around him, he acts like a bitch. I'm like, no, dude, this is my customer. I'm taking care of him.
Yeah,
like,
I talked about this with Marco. It's like it's not that we're being fake. It's that there's different like ways you talk to people. Dude, that's just common sense.
Yeah, there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah,
and my character is going to be my character no matter what, but I'm not going to sit here and cuss and talk a bunch of bullshit around 60-year-old people.
Yeah, like you can be yourself, but maybe just don't let all of it out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like don't be
like,
100%.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Just be like 70%.
You know, and it's not being fake at all.
It's just like toning it back.
Exactly.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly. So, yeah, no, that's never been a dream of mine. So that was my first year, and then, like, slowly getting people out the door, and people were like, oh, yeah, I like this haircut, so I came. Dude, and thankfully, that's how it's all worked.
Okay, so it, like, came together sort of... Did it come together slow, or did it, like... It was slow, fast? Like,
dude,
how did your success come?
Dude, it was like
I was making.
So there was a moment where I went from making half of what I make now a week to making what I make now a week, and it was like within a month.
Wow! So you went for like just like bullshit numbers, like you're making like, 200, and then you made like 800.
Like so, I went from like making 200. Had like a good month where I was starting to make like, I guess you would call it 300, 350. And then all of a sudden it went up to like 700.
Oh, so you like doubled your numbers.
Dude, yeah.
That's insane.
Within like a month. And then it was like
fucking,
yeah, I was like, I can afford shit now. And I was like, okay, like, and to this day, I still do it off of me charging some people $15, $10.
Yeah, which is dope. I love that.
Dude, it's like, I usually don't get $10 or $15, but it's what I charge some people. Like, those that were loyal to me, like, if you ever, like, if you came to my garage and you can't afford a haircut, dude, don't even worry about it. Like, I got you.
Yeah,
like,
that was what was dope, is that, because you had, like, our whole class, like all the guys from other classes, just pulling up to your garage.
Yeah. And now I'm thankful for it, and I'm grateful that it happened that way, because it really shows you, like, in life, it's not how many people you know, it's who you know. That's how everything branched out.
Hell yeah. That's a great way to put it.
Like, if I didn't know the people that I knew, I probably wouldn't have been successful.
Wow.
I could know all the people in the world, but it was the people that I knew that backed me and that were
believed
like,
in you.
Like, and they knew I wasn't just a business. Mm-hmm. I was a person. I was a character.
Yeah.
And it was someone that like you could get your support behind.
Hell yeah. Like, it's like I said, dude, we all like to follow you.
Dude, I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude.
I definitely would not be here.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Here. Well, we love a good success story, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah.
What do you got going on these days? What are we at? 1:30. A minute? An hour and a half? Oh, shit.
Damn. So can we wrap this up with one quick story?
Yeah, dude, go for it.
It is like this is a story that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
Hell yeah. Can't wait.
So we were sophomore or juniors.
Sophomore year was my
or
favorite
juniors?
year. I'm just going to throw that in there.
Junior year.
Ah, damn.
Not your favorite. Sorry. So we were juniors, and we were playing basketball.
Okay.
And dude, so this is when I got suspended.
Oh, yeah. After Hansen game.
Sophomore year.
Sophomore year. That's when all the good shit happened.
Yeah. So sophomore year, I get suspended for some bullshit. Get suspended 2 games.
Well, you should tell them what you did.
Okay, so we're playing our rivals.
Hell yeah.
And fuck Hansen. So we're playing our rivals, and we're playing basketball, and sitting there like, the game's it's a close game, right?
Yeah, it was at the time.
Dude, and this is when I'm super temperamental, and like, I felt like I just have to prove everything to everyone. Like, so there's some people in the crowd that I knew from Hanson. They're talking shit, blah, 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 blah. And I'm inbounding the ball, and there's a specific dude telling me like, oh, 3, you suck, you're flopping. And I didn't wear number 3. I think it was number 30. Or
I think it was 30.
Dude, it had to be junior year.
What?
It
See,
was
now I'm
junior
confused.
Year. It was junior year. So anyway, and then I get pissed, like, oh, you're flopping, like you suck or whatever. So I turn around and I flip him off. And then I get a charge call like 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped. And I start taunting the crowd like this. Dude, and all of a sudden I hear
the court.
Dude, yeah. So all of a sudden I hear the fucking ref blow his whistle and give me a technical, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I get sad, and our coach is like, you ever freaking do that again? Like, I'm gonna be on you. Like, we don't do that crap and all this crap.
We don't freaking do that on this team.
Freaking Gerri, like, why would you do that? I was like, okay, whatever. Sit on the bench, bro. I was only in the game for like 3 minutes. Sit on the bench. It gets close again. He's like, are you ready to go back in? I was like, yes. He's like, are you going to pull any more stunts? And I was like, no. Go back in. I don't know what necessarily happens. Anyway, some kid tries to walk over me. And I'm not having that shit. And I fucking grab him, and I fucking throw his leg. And the ref's like, hey, calm down, buddy. Like, you already have a technical or whatever. And I look at my assistant coach, shrug, and just, like, shake my head. I'm just like, okay, like, fuck this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I said that out loud. But gives me another technical, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So he gives me a T, and it's like, boom, like, throws my ass out.
Yeah, because after 2 technicals, you're ejected.
Dude, like, and straight up did the sign, like, Joey Crawford my ass. Like, get your ass in the locker room. Yeah. So I take off my jersey walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
Hear everyone fucking yelling at me.
Hey, I was cheering you on.
Dude,
I was like,
dude, everyone's yelling at me. Fucking get another technical for leaving the court.
3 technicals.
3 technicals. They had to give one to my coach.
Yeah.
Bro, biggest bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, so I get a 2-game suspension for it. And then gotta apologize to the team, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Bullshit.
I forgot about that.
And get my 2-game suspension, get it done with. I can't even be at the game.
Yeah.
So get it done with.
I think we lost both of those, by the way.
And then come back. And he's like, you're not starting. Dude, I wanted to transfer. I was like, this is bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
you guys are
it
treating me
is.
like a child. And I was like, okay, whatever. Don't start for like 7 or 8 games. And then we play the best team in our conference. And all of a sudden, he's like, you get a star.
Yeah.
He's like, are you ready to start tonight? And I was like,
No.
like, dude, no. So we had this private conversation on the way to the game. He's like, are you ready to start tonight? And I told him, why tonight? He's like, well, it's a big game. We gotta be in this. And I was like, dude, it doesn't matter the size of the game, right? I was like, we're punishing me for what I did.
I disappointed you.
Yeah, like we're punishing me. He's like, yeah, but you served your time or whatever. And I was like, okay, so now that we have
A tough game. Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I'm ready to start.
Low-key, just like, so you're saying that I'm a start.
So I get a start and we get shit on. Get fucking shit on. And then there's like 5 minutes in the game and we're down by like 20. And I told the coach, I had untucked my jersey. He's like, why are you untucking your jersey? I was like, are you putting me back in? He's like, yes. So I was like, all right. So I tucked myself back in. He's like, all right, go in. And I go in. 10 seconds within me going in. I think I had the ball. Some kid dove at my ankle.
Oh, shit.
And that shit just popped.
I forgot you did that.
Dude, that shit just popped. And my ankle was just like, boom.
It was like, if you could imagine, your ankle's supposed to be like this. It was like, oh, shit. No, dude, my ankle popped. But yeah, it was sideways.
Dude, like, yeah. And I was getting ready to get up off the ground, and everyone's just like, no.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, whatever.
That was scary.
Yeah. Go to the hospital, whatever, pop it back in, I'm fine, whatever. But I was in a boot for 2 weeks. So this is where I get into the story. What are you talking about? So I get into a boot. Oh my God.
Okay.
So I get into a boot, bro. And at the time, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I can't drive. It's in my right ankle. So she's driving me around. Yeah. So she's driving me around, whatever, from point A to point B. And one day, we were chilling at her mom's apartment. And we were doing teenager things. And my phone starts going off. And, okay, so let me give you guys a little bit of background. I had a girlfriend from
This
where
was
we
the
went to
past
school.
you. This was, he's a completely different man.
Different man. I treat my girl with respect. Like I would never ever do this to my girl. Don't get me wrong. This is why I'm sharing this because I think it's funny. And I used to be a piece of.
It's in the past.
And I used to be a piece of shit.
Been like
and that's okay.
5 years.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you have a girlfriend and you have another friend.
Girlfriend. to put it like the easiest way, like that's the best way to do it. And I tell one of my girlfriends, I hang out with her on Saturdays. I hang out with the other one on Sundays.
Smart.
Yeah, and the one that I hang out with on Saturdays, I tell her, oh, Sundays is for church and family. like I'm a man of God, and like my family, we go to church every Sunday, and then we hang out, and that's all we do. So she's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, good for you guys. And I was like, yeah. And
Super sick.
So I would block her. Anyway, fast forward, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
Now I'm at that girl's house, and my phone starts going off. And usually I block that girl. But this day, I was like, I've been doing this for 2 months.
You started slacking off.
She knows not. She knows better. Like, she knows not to text me. She knows not to call me. All of a sudden, like, my phone goes off, and in the back of my head, I was like, son of a bitch.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Like, I know who this is. And my girl's like, oh, who is that?
Who's
and
texting
like,
us?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know. And like, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Like, let's keep watching TV.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay, whatever. It keeps going, and like, my phone, I get a phone call. I was like, fuck. And she keeps trying to reach for my phone. I'm like, dude, don't touch my shit.
Yeah.
And at this time, like, I'm becoming like very overprotective, and like, you can just tell like something's wrong.
Yeah. She's like, why are you acting up like this?
So she starts doing shit, and like, I put my phone down on the counter, and I don't know why.
And this is after all the phone calls.
Dude,
like,
yes. Yeah. And then my phone goes off. She snatches that shit.
Oh, shit.
Answers. Who is this? Gerri, you okay? Oh, cool. So she's like, Gerri, you okay? Wait, what? Who is this? And like, who is this? And why are you calling my boyfriend?
Oh, man.
Like, your boyfriend, like.
Did your face just like.
Dog. Oh, man. So, hangs up. Who the fuck was that? Blah, 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 blah.
It was your other girlfriend.
Yeah. And like, I was like, oh no, crazy bitches talking. Bro, I am getting pillows, fucking glass, like a glass cup thrown at my head. And
she's abusive.
Bro, homegirl abusive. And I was like, fuck this. Like, give me my fucking phone. I'm out of here. Like,
with the boot.
Snowing. I forgot to mention, it's December, snowing.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this. Just, like, I'm getting out of here. And so I walk out, and I was like, bro, what the fuck am I going to do? And I get on the phone, and I call you. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was taking a shit.
Yeah! I was
pooping.
Yeah.
Pooping,
And
decompressing.
I was like, bro, I need a solid. I was like, bro, you think you can give me a ride? Like, I'm in some deep shit. And like, he's like, oh, like, what's going on? And I was like, all you need to know.
Yeah, my dumbass. What do you mean? What's going on?
I was like, dude, all you need to know, if she comes out, like, I need you to lie. Dude, instantly comes out.
Yeah, that
with
was
a
bad.
blanket, bro.
And you got to think, from my perspective, dude, I was having like a good night.
Yeah. And all of a sudden,
chilling.
like, I was so scared. And all of a sudden, like, all that fear turns into like, oh my God.
Yeah. God, dude. Yeah.
Like, she thinks I'm cheating. Like, like what? And then you come, like, and I was like, AG, like, bro, you gotta tell her that I would never cheat on her or whatever. She's like, who are you on the phone with? I'm like, I'm on the phone with AG. Like, he knows that I would never do this to you. Blah, 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 blah. She's like, let me see. And like, I don't think she even said, let me see. I was like, talk to him. Yeah. It's just like, okay. I don't know what you said.
I talked her out of it,
yeah,
dude.
bro,
Just
she's
believe.
like, wraps me in a blanket, and she's all, oh, yeah, come back inside. I was like, okay. So we get inside. Her mom comes out. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you guys are
Oh,
being
shit, she
loud.
was there?
Dude, yeah.
Oh, dang.
She's like, you guys can't be doing this shit in my apartment, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. She's like, what's going on? Her daughter's like, he's cheating on me, like, with another girl or whatever. And she's like, Kay, are you cheating? I was like, no. And she's like, Kay, are you okay putting it on the Bible? And I was like,
Well, I don't know about that.
I was like, dude, I don't know.
You're like, I'm actually not religious.
Brings out the Mormon Bible. And she's like, Kay, swear on the Bible that you're not cheating on her. I was like, fuck it, I ain't Mormon. I don't give a fuck. I was like, I'm not Mormon, yeah. I was like, fuck it, I ain't Mormon. Yep. That never
so
happened.
Funny, dude. God
Bro.
Damn.
A week later, like, I went through all this bullshit. A week later, that girl sent fucking screenshots to the girl that I'm still with. And she's like, you never cheat on me, huh? I was like, fuck no. Like, we've been through this. Like, I'm done with you if you don't. Like, if you keep bringing it up, like, I'm just going to be done. She's like, okay, here's the screenshots. Fuck you. Like, I was like, oh.
Dude,
So I went,
all that work.
All that work. Eventually, damn, dude. Eventually, within like a month or two, I'm dating both again. It turns into a huge mess. Do you remember when I got hurt in Richfield?
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, because the girl went to Richfield. Yeah.
Yep. And then that girl goes to the hospital to see me. The other girl's like waiting for me outside. And like I'm telling the nurses, so-and-so is not allowed in my room. And I remember I got my phone and I ended it in the hospital with my girl from our school. Like,
you were like,
dude,
it's just too
over.
much for me.
Like, this shit helped me realize I don't need you. Like, and I was like, I ain't getting caught up twice.
Yeah.
So
it worked out.
yeah. But, dude, all I'm saying is if you need like a real friend and they don't pull through like you did, dude, like you do not have a real friend. So ever since like I knew long before we were gonna be friends forever.
Yeah.
But that moment, I was like, yeah,
I'm a real good
like,
liar.
this guy's got me. Like,
Yeah, that's funny, dude, because like on my side, like I said, bro, I was chilling. I was having a good night. Like I wasn't doing shit. I'm taking a shit midway through, like I'm taking a little break. And then I get a phone call from you and you're like, yo, I just got caught up. I need you to absolutely just tell her that I did not cheat on her. And me, I'm like, all right, bet. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
But like midway through, you were like, hey, like I need you to do this. And then out of nowhere, you're like, oh shit, she's coming. And then you just put on this, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, just like you said, you were like crying, like, I don't know what to do.
Dude.
And so, yeah, I talked to her. I'm like, Gerri would never do that. Yeah. He's the best person ever. I've never seen him talk to another girl. Like, he respects you, like all this other shit.
So the crazy shit is, throughout high school, like, I know that you guys knew I bullshitted with other girls, but no one knew I had 2 girlfriends. That was my shit only. Like
that was
I was not gonna leak that to anybody.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how like I've always been. There's certain shit that just no one.
That's a good way to be.
Dude, like I don't need everyone up on my business. That's why like my Snapchat, I post once a week, and it's like, who needs a haircut?
Yeah, like scheduled. You're not much on social media, huh?
Dude, no.
That's a good way to be. I think your opinions can go far if you want them to, but you got to be talking to the right people.
Yeah.
And if not, then why would you even, like, why are you going to talk to a brick wall? You
Dude,
know what I'm
exactly.
saying? And that's what social media is. So.
And I feel like so much people, like, don't enjoy the moment because they're too busy trying to enjoy what social media would think.
Right.
So they want to post and they want everything to look so it looks appealing to everyone else. They don't really care if they have a good time doing it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what would people think? Like, I need this beautiful picture.
Yeah.
I need this beautiful video or whatever. And I don't like to live life like that. I'd rather just fucking enjoy it.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah. And I have a bunch of shit saved on my story and on like my phone that I'm just like, oh, these were all such badass moments that never hit social media.
Good memories for you.
Dude,
like, they're not for everybody else.
Exactly. Like,
and like, if you like to share the memories, cool.
Exactly.
Like, that's your life too.
Exactly.
Like, it's okay. You
Exactly.
know, like,
Exactly.
not everybody needs to be the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, we should wrap this up because I think we're like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
Yeah,
it's time to wrap it up.
But hey, man, thanks. I appreciate you coming on. You got any plugs? Obviously, Gerri Cuts.
Dude, shout out my cousin Victor. He's barbering too, so I want to give him a shout out. Other than that, dude, biggest shout out to you, bro, because I hope this shit works out, and I hope that it goes big. And I see a lot of people supporting it, and that's why I have a feeling that you're gonna be good, because that's exactly what helped me out was everyone's support. Like, if the people that you know don't support you, then you're probably not.
Yeah, it's tough.
You know, but everyone that I see supports you and they love it. So
hell yeah, man, I
kudos to
appreciate
you,
it.
bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's been another episode of the Authentic Goat Podcast. Tune in next week. Thanks, guys.